In the vast, unforgiving expanse of the open ocean, the U.S. Navy's aircraft carrier is the ultimate symbol of American power. But in the late Cold War, the Soviet threat was evolving faster than anyone predicted. They built a fleet of supersonic bombers, armed with anti-ship missiles designed to sink a carrier battle group in one massive, coordinated attack. America needed a shield, not just a fighter, but an interceptor with unparalleled range, speed, and destructive power. The answer was the Grumman F-14 Tomcat. The Tomcat was a machine of contradictions, massive yet nimble, complex, yet devastatingly effective. It carried one of the most sophisticated radar systems ever put on a fighter, and it was armed with the mythical AIM-54 Phoenix missile, a weapon so lethal it could take out 6 targets simultaneously from over 100 miles away. This aircraft was the ultimate guardian of the seas. This is the declassified story of the F-14 Tomcat, the fighter that ensured the survival of the U.S. Navy and dominated the skies for 3 decades. The F-14 wasn't designed for dogfighting. It was designed for survival against the massive, sustained air attack known as the Red Wave. The Navy needed a fighter that could patrol far from the carrier, detect the incoming threat at extreme range, and destroy the enemy before they even got close enough to fire their weapons. The Grumman design was revolutionary. Its key feature was the variable sweep wing, the signature wing that could sweep forward for maximum lift, and slow-speed landing on the carrier deck, and sweep back into a sharp delta configuration for supersonic interception speed. This mechanical marvel, controlled by an air data computer, automatically adjusted the wings for optimal performance, a necessity for a jet that had to be both a long-range interceptor and a delicate, slow-speed carrier landing machine. This complex, powerful, and heavy aircraft required a 2-man crew, the pilot and the radar intercept officer, or RIO. The RIO was the true brain of the F-14, managing the massive radar and the formidable weapon systems. This division of labor was critical for managing the intense complexity of a modern naval air battle. If the F-14 was the shield, the AIM-54 Phoenix was the Iron Fist. This missile system was the most important development of the Tomcat program. The Phoenix was a heavy, long-range, radar-guided missile, capable of hitting a target at ranges exceeding 100 nautical miles, 185 kilometers. The F-14 could carry up to 6 Phoenix missiles simultaneously, alongside its medium-range Sparrows and short-range Sidewinders. No other fighter jet in the world possessed this kind of long-range, multiple-target engagement capability. The secret lay in the F-14's incredible radar, the AN/AWG-9. This massive system could track up to 24 targets simultaneously and guide 6 Phoenix missiles to 6 different targets at once. This gave the Tomcat crew the ability to destroy an entire formation of incoming Soviet bombers before they could even detect the carrier group. The standard tactics were brutal and simple: launch the Phoenix at the maximum possible range, turn around and accelerate away. The F-14 crew wouldn't see the explosion. They would just see the 6 contacts vanish from the radar screen. The Phoenix missile was a game-changer that neutralized the Soviet bomber threat overnight. Despite its revolutionary design, the F-14 was born with a critical flaw: its engine. The original Pratt & Whitney TF-30 engines were notoriously unreliable and underpowered. The TF-30 was susceptible to compressor stalls, a catastrophic engine failure that was particularly deadly during the stress of high G-turns or missile launch. Pilots quickly learned that the Tomcat was a beautiful but dangerous beast. Many early F-14 losses were due to these engine issues, earning the Tomcat a grim nickname among maintenance crews. Grumman eventually addressed this fundamental problem by integrating the far superior General Electric F-110 engines in later variants, creating the F-14B and F-14D. This new power plant transformed the Tomcat from a dangerous interceptor into a true dominant air superiority fighter. The F-110 gave the jet the thrust it needed to climb faster, accelerate quicker, and confidently execute the aggressive maneuvers the pilots desired. The F-14 was an expensive lesson. Even the most advanced weapon system is only as good as its weakest component. While the F-14 was born from Cold War necessity, it achieved global fame thanks to the 1986 film Top Gun. The film transformed the massive interceptor into an icon of American air superiority and pilot skill, introducing its raw power to a generation. But the Tomcat's real battles were far more dangerous than the movie screen. Over the Gulf of Sidra, F-14s engaged Libyan fighters in two famous encounters. In 1981 and 1989, F-14 crews decisively shot down hostile Libyan jets. These engagements proved the Tomcat was not only an unstoppable long-range platform, but also a superior dogfighter when the wings were swept forward. More critically, in the early 1990s, the F-14 saw action over Iraq. Initially restricted to defense, the Tomcat quickly proved its multi-role capability. The Navy modified the jet to carry bombs, transforming the pure interceptor into a fearsome ground attack platform known as the Bombcat. This capability allowed the F-14 to drop laser-guided munitions, while still carrying its defensive air-to-air missile loadout, cementing its importance throughout the Gulf War and beyond. Here is one of the most incredible footnotes in the F-14's history: its service in Iran. In the mid-1970s, the U.S. sold 79 F-14s and hundreds of Phoenix missiles to the Shah of Iran. When the Iranian Revolution occurred in 1979, the new regime kept the Tomcats, making Iran the only operator of the F-14 outside the United States. During the brutal Iran-Iraq War, 1980-1988, the Iranian Tomcats performed extraordinarily well. Despite the U.S. cutting off all support, parts, and technical assistance, Iranian technicians kept many of the F-14s flying through cannibalization and reverse engineering. Iranian pilots, operating without radar support and often with jury-rigged Phoenix missiles, achieved dozens of confirmed kills against Iraqi aircraft. The F-14's massive size and powerful radar acted as an airborne early warning system, allowing Iranian ground forces to track the flow of battle. The fact that the F-14 remained operationally dominant in the hands of an isolated air force for decades is the ultimate testament to Grumman's robust and pioneering design. After 32 years of service, the F-14 Tomcat was officially retired by the U.S. Navy in 2006, replaced by the FA-18E F Super Hornet. The Navy's decision was driven by cost and logistics. The Tomcat was incredibly expensive to maintain, requiring specialized equipment and crews. The Super Hornet, while not matching the F-14's raw speed or the Phoenix's range, offered greater multi-role capability and easier maintenance. To ensure that no spare parts or technical secrets could fall into Iranian hands, whose F-14s were still flying, the U.S. Navy implemented a secretive plan to dismantle and shred every single remaining U.S. Tomcat. The iconic swing-wing fighter was literally destroyed piece by piece to prevent the technology from reaching hostile hands. The F-14 Tomcat was a product of a specific moment in history, a Cold War interceptor built to counter a precise Soviet threat. It was a fighter that flew the line between engineering impossibility and absolute necessity. It was massive, beautiful, and utterly lethal. The Tomcat remains the undisputed king of the carrier deck, a symbol of the time when America built a weapon system so dominant that its mere presence guaranteed the safety of the fleet and global air superiority. The shield of the fleet is gone, but the legend of the F-14 Tomcat will fly forever.